Good evening and welcome to Channel 8 Sports and East Brunswick High School basketball. Hi, I'm John Meggiolaro with Phil Hill and Jim Allinder for tonight's game, Perth Amboy against East Brunswick. And Jimmy, East Brunswick's got a tough one tonight.
They have a tough one against an undefeated Perth Amboy team that Phil's going to talk about. I'm going to talk about East Brunswick. They're 4-4 at this juncture, getting into the thick of the red division of the Greater Middlesex Conference. This is going to be a pivotal game for them tonight. Coach Bo Henning has been a little disappointed somewhat by the play. He thinks the team probably could have won one or two more games. That Piscataway game that they opened up against, and perhaps the consolation game of the McCorriston tournament. They're playing hard, though, and he thinks that tonight the key to East Brunswick being able to beat this quick Perth Amboy team is to be able to get the ball up against them, and then once they do, to get the ball inside where he thinks that they may have an advantage.
Okay, and Phil, basketball has been resurrected at Perth Amboy.
Perth Amboy basketball is back, and John Mazurek, the head coach, says he's happy and surprised. He has a terribly young team, starting 3 sophomores, and they have jumped out of the blocks with 6-0, knocking off a terribly good Piscataway team in the process. So he's a little bit surprised. He's just hoping that this young team can hold things together. I asked him what he has to do to win tonight. He says he has to make their pressure work for them. If they can pressure in East Brunswick into mistakes, it's going to be their game. They also got to be able to get the rebounds off the board. He's a little apprehensive because he hasn't fared very well against Bo Henning. He's 1-5 in games coached against Bo Henning, and he's concerned about that. He says while the crowd isn't terribly wild when he comes here, for some reason he has a tough time anytime he comes into the Bear Den. So it should be an interesting game. We know it's going to be a fast-paced game, a lot of pressing, and a real exciting game.
All right, it's a Saturday night game on tap, and we'll be back with the action in just a moment. Well, we're about ready to get this game underway. Perth Amboy coming in 6-0, East Brunswick 4-4. And Phil, I think you mentioned at the outset this could be a speed game.
It's going to be a speed game because you got a lot of speed on the floor. You can expect a lot of pressing all over the floor and a lot of hands flying everywhere.
First meeting this year between Perth Amboy and East Brunswick. We're about ready to go. Kutza will jump it at center and controlled by Perth Amboy in the white. Urena, 21, to Snipes, 25, and now they'll start moving it around. That's Alicia.
Phil, right away you see Varnell Johnson or Patrick Ricks.
He's got to play Patrick Ricks all over the court.
Layup won't go. Kutza with the rebound, and East Brunswick will bring it up.
And right away, the Bears showing good pressure, man-to-man defense, and as it goes off the path, they're getting those boards are going to be a big part of the game. The Bears must control the boards.
Tenora to inbound it, needs some help. He'll get it to Fisher. And Brian will set things up. Kutza in the middle, brings it out.
Now watch for the Bears to try to get it inside.
Varnell, and a foul is called. And I think it's going to be on Ricks, number 21. I'm sorry, on Alicia. Fisher will take a three-pointer, and that'll start it off for East Brunswick.
Greg Fisher coming on for East Brunswick.
I'll tell you, he's the leading scorer for East Brunswick, averaging 11 points a game, and I think that's his 11th three-pointer of the year.
Perth Amboy half-court offense. Ricks with the shot, puts on the rebound. Tenora, good defense there, Phil. Rivera. Shot is good by Snipes. 3-2, East Brunswick by 1.
Snipes a sophomore.
Johnson inside, Berliner all by himself. Won't go. Fisher's fouled. Snipes, number 25. Is guilty.
I'll tell you, good movement by the Bears, but when you get the ball down like that, they got to put it down. Every basket is going to count this game. Berliner a little far under, should have put it down.
Berliner again having a little trouble. Kutza on the follow-up, a little strong. And the Panthers will bring it down quickly. Urena to Ricks. Ricks will take the shot. And he follows up his own shot. Three-pointer is good. Urena, number 22, makes it a 5-3.
And Urena leads the county in three-point shots. That's his number 19th of the year.
Bears trail by 2. Early first quarter. Steal there. Bad pass by Johnson. Snipe shot won't go. Kutza underneath.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be important to watch these offensive boards, defensive boards tonight.
Kutza with the rebound. Pass down to Fisher. Layup, and we're tied at 5.
Quick move to the basket by Fisher.
And nice move. Fisher going up with the left hand, protecting it so it couldn't be blocked.
Watch the boards here. East Brunswick's going to have to get the defensive board. Not allow Perth Amboy more than one shot. They do have the height advantage.
Ricks takes it to the hoop. Won't go. Follow up in the foul. Alicia with the bucket. Fouls on Fisher. I'm sorry. Kutza. That's his first.
And Jim, they're going to have to do a better job of blocking out. Otherwise, it could be a long night.
And Elisa makes it 8-5. Perth Amboy by 3. Fisher brings it across court. To Kutza, back to Fisher. Looking for some movement. Tenora now from the corner. Gets it out, Fisher, three-pointer, hits.
That's his second three-pointer.
And looking awful confident on that shot. Brad Fisher didn't hesitate, just put it up with nice rotation.
I'm sorry, John, I'll tell you, that's really not what East Brunswick wants to do, though.
Ricks.
There's the new
Won't
offensive
go,
board
Alicia.
again.
Follows up 10-8, Perth Amboy.
And I count at least 5 offensive rebounds for Perth Amboy.
And Felix Alicia, a 6'4" senior, doing a nice job on the offensive boards.
Fisher, nice pass to Berliner. Foul and won't fall.
He walked.
They're calling travel.
Another easy basket, though, John. You see there that the Bears didn't turn into points, and they can't keep giving away those easy baskets. They've taken off the full court pressure, still in man-to-man.
Bears trail by 2, 10-8, 4 minutes remaining. First quarter blocked by Johnson. And the ball went right over to Urena, who put it in for a three-pointer. 13-8, Perth Amboy. Fisher, nice move to the hoop. He's blocked by Alicia. Snipes all the way.
There's another rebound.
Reverse, and Kutza pulls it down.
Okay. And that's what the Bears are going to have to do, be tough on the defensive boards.
I think Amboy's got this game just the way they want it right now.
Tenora, bad pass, and Phil, turnovers right now, first quarter is hurting East Brunswick.
Well, the Bears reacting to the pressure there and not reacting well. And Perth Amboy being like a typical Perth Amboy Panther team, trying to create confusion.
Shot won't go for the Panthers. Puts another rebound.
Puts another big rebound again.
Tenora being pressured as he brings it up. He'll take the shot. In and out. And here comes Ricks.
He's by himself.
And they got a break. It went off the Bear.
They're calling a foul on Tenora, I believe.
Wow.
Jimmy, we remember Ricks from football, I believe, at Perth Amboy.
Mr. Everything for Jerry Youngchuck's team. And they tell me he's would like to play football on Division I level.
Perth Amboy quickly gets it in. Urena to Ricks. Ricks will put it up.
There's another rebound.
Alicia on the rebound. He'll go over East Brunswick's way.
I'll tell you, he walked, but Felix Alicia, a 6'4" senior, is doing a tremendous job on the boards.
Which is why Nick Szymanski has been inserted in place of Berliner to see what he can do to box out.
Fisher.
And Ryan Tenora coming up with that, John.
And
I'm sorry, Tenora, right?
Right,
Right, two-pointer, 13-10. Bears down by 3. 2:30 remaining, first quarter. Snipes inside, Alicia.
I'll tell you, this is the best movement I've seen by a Perth Amboy team in several years. Usually they're known for putting it up, but moving the ball around, they're doing a real nice job.
Making their shots, too.
East Brunswick in a half-court game as Kutza puts it up from the line. And a foul will be called underneath. I think they're going to call it on Szymanski for pushing.
Kind of a late whistle. So Fisher's out.
Fisher will take a break.
And I believe that's Jeff Gagno that's coming for him.
Number 23 is Gagno.
Offensive foul.
A little pushing going on underneath the basket.
Let's see who we got. Ricks, 22.
Urena. And Perth Amboy is going to pick up on the press now.
They do it well.
Tenora looking for some help. He'll give it to Kutza and back to Tenora. Tenora has the lane. He feeds it underneath to Kutza, and they're going to call a jump ball.
Wow.
Well, that's what the Bears wanted. They wanted the ball inside to Kutza. They worked it in. Quick.
I'll tell you, great pass by Brian Tenura, seeing the open man. Nice pass to Kutza, was just blocked.
Under the Bears' own basket, Tenora will feed it into Kutza. He'll take it right to the hoop. It's short. Knocked away by Perth Amboy, and here comes Snipes. And they're on the run. Snipes to Ricks. They're going to call it travel. Oh, no, they're calling foul on Tenora.
Wow. And I'll tell you, I don't think I've seen anyone quite as impressive off the boards as Felix Alicia, number 33. He's just a leaper.
All right, Ricks will start it up. Snipes by himself decides to pull it down. Inside, stolen by Kutza. Bears trailing by 5, 15-10, a minute 15 left first quarter. Johnson's first shot of the night, off the rim. And Perth Amboy on the move again, quickly Snipes. And the foul is going to be called on Tenora.
And that's his third, John. That's Brian Tenora's third foul, and he's one of the steady players on the court. He's the captain, of course, and to have to lose him at this early stage is really going to hurt the Bears.
Well, he didn't look steady on that one. I think that foul almost looked like it was from fatigue.
Really a blow. Brian is one of the more sure-handed dribblers, bringing the ball up, and it's going to hurt the Bears.
Johnson goes out also. That was an ill-advised shot on his part from the outside before.
Levy's in, Gagno's in, Szymanski, Kutza, and Fisher are the new 5, if you will, for the Bears.
And you see Snipes missed that first shot. He's averaging about 6.2 points per game for the Perth Amboy, and a rather steady player for him. Just a sophomore.
A little strong there, Levy with the rebound. Quickly over to Gagno. He'll put it up, long. Ricks down quickly.
This is a little undisciplined right now.
And Perth Amboy slow it down a little bit. Shot.
Great shot.
Urena. 18-10. The three-pointer as Fisher drives. And a foul underneath.
Szymanski again.
That's his second.
I believe it's against Perth Amboy.
No, they're going to call it on Szymanski.
Wow.
This is not a good sequence for the Bears.
And
Berliner's in, Eber comes in. Kutza will take a rest, as will Szymanski. 36 seconds rather, first quarter. Bears trailing by 8, 18-10. Goes East Brunswick's way.
Well, Ricks thought it went off an East Brunswick player, but not so, says the official.
Eber to Levy. 17 seconds, first quarter. Slowly comes to an end as Gagno looks for someone underneath. It was Berliner, knocked away.
Look at that speed.
And Snipes a little showboating, but it goes.
Look at that speed.
Just like a racehorse.
And at the buzzer, the Panthers are up by 20 to 10.
And I'll tell you what, Bo Henning has to be shaking his head on that sequence there. That is one of the finest quarters I've seen a high school team.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the speedier ones. And Bo, let's see what Bo has to say. I tell you, he's got to be concerned at this juncture.
Hand on 33 every time. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, listen to me. Your defense is horrendous. Your pursuit of the ball on the boards is horrendous. Don't overhelp, damn it. And then box and pursue the ball. All right? 1 spot, 2, 3, 4, Matt 5. On the offensive end. I just told Matt to go in. Where is he? All right, Nick's in the 5.
Strong on the boards. Let's go.
No, Kutz is in the 4, Goat's in the 5. Defensively, we're 21, okay? 21.
Let's go.
You're gonna have to take Rick's.
That's 21?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, you could clearly not pleased with his defense. I don't know how much they can do because this is just a terribly fast team, certainly the fastest team we've seen this year.
Urena's already knocked down 3 3-pointers. That's 9 points right there.
We'll start the second quarter with Ricks bringing it up for the Panthers. They lead by 10. Rivera, little spin move. Won't go for him. And it's off Fisher.
Amboy again, tough on the boards.
Stolen by Eber. And Levy will bring it up quickly to Kutza in the wing. Back to Johnson by himself. Yes. 2-pointer makes it 20-12.
I guess East Brunswick's going to have to nail some outside shots to get back in this
They're
game.
going to have to put them up. They're missing a lot of chippies. They're just going to have to take a better shot selection and put them down. And be tougher on defense.
Snipes will set things up. Looks underneath. He's got Alicia, and he travels.
And it's a good call by the official. The young man did take some steps.
Bears trailing by 8. Levy quickly to Eber underneath. Nice movement under one defender to get the bucket.
And I'll tell you, this Bear team's a good passing team. It's just a matter of putting them down.
20-14. Bears down by 6. Ricks calling out a play, looking to set something up.
Ricks hasn't a point yet.
Snipes to Rivera. High off the glass, won't go, but Alicia's does.
Once again, off the offensive boards.
He has 9 points.
22-14. Johnson will give it back to Levy. Cross to Kutza. He'll take the 3-pointer. Will make it. 22-17.
That's your forward shooting from the outside.
From out there.
And from a guard's 1-2 spot.
Ricks. They're going to call a foul inside.
I think they're going to call a blocking foul on Alicia.
You're right, Jim. So the ball go over to East Brunswick as 2 new players come in for Perth Amboy. Melbourne, number 11, and McKeithen, number 24.
And they didn't lose anything on height with that. McKeithen looks to be about 6'4", 6'5".
Levy brings it up quickly. Johnson, 3-pointer off the rim. Fisher controls and hits the side of the backboard. Perth Amboy comes up with it after the scramble. Melbourne underneath for Perth Amboy, and they're going to call a travel.
Well, I think what happened with Melbourne is he bounced the ball on the line. He got possession of it.
And Philip Melbourne, a 6'1" junior. Another player off the bench.
Bears trailing by 5, 22-17. 5:30 remaining before half. Johnson quickly has it blocked, and they're going to call a foul.
I'll tell you.
Late whistle.
I'll tell you, a very late whistle. John Mazurek looking right at the official, not saying a word, however. but clearly a very late whistle.
So that's Rivera. No, check. Okay, it
Yeah,
is
it is on
Rivera.
Rivera.
All right, and even though it's a 2-shot foul, that will put Amboy over the limit. So the next foul shooting will be 1-1. First time East Brunswick's come to the line.
Varnell trying to cut Perth Amboy's lead. He'll get another.
And Varnell Johnson, co-captain of this Bear basketball team. You know his story, all-stater in football, and trying to help out the basketball team here.
Bears cut the lead to 3.
Well, they're on a 7-0 run here.
22-19. Fisher almost stole it.
Now it is.
They do get it. They got the break.
Good.
And it's stripped by Ricks.
Wow.
A mad scramble.
I don't know how you
foul
can
is called.
I don't know how you can call any foul on that one.
Well, it was called, Jim, and I tell you, good defense by both teams there. A good defensive series by both teams, and eventually foul being called.
Well, Ricks calls the timeout. He was the one that came down and was able to block that short bucket by Fisher.
And the foul is called on Jose Urena.
What a wild game. East Brunswick now has been able to take a 22-12 lead and bring it down to 22-19, so they are 7-0.
Well, obviously we're seeing a better defensive effort by East Brunswick.
Clearly a better defensive effort, and Bo's got to be feeling good right now. You got to think they just had to put some shots down, John. They had a lot of easy shots inside. They just weren't going down. They're playing better defense, and it's paying off right here. The Panthers, on the other hand, some of the shots, their shot selection on the other hand, is a little whoop-de-doo and a little fancy stuff. John Mazurek, I'm sure, is going to settle them down and tell them, hey, let's get back to our original game plan.
Well, the Bears are down by 3, 22-19. We have 5:10 remaining in the second quarter. And the pace has been wild from the tip-off.
Now, again, East Brunswick with Kutza and Berliner in the hole certainly have the height advantage, and they probably want to steal if they can get to that.
Fisher, three-pointer. Yes. That's his third tonight, I believe.
That's correct. He's got 11 points.
And he's just showing an awfully nice touch. And as I said before, very confident. His 13th three-pointer of the year.
We're tied at 22. Ricks drives. And despite the block by Kutza, the ball falls in.
I take that back. That's his 15th three-pointer of the year.
Berliner all by himself, and he's hacked by Ricks.
And hacked is the right word, John. You got a 5'9" Patrick Ricks and all over 6'3".
Matt Berliner.
6'5".
6'5".
So you're going to give Urena a rest.
Bueno comes in, number 10.
The character of this game has changed.
Berliner.
Good-looking kid, Berliner. Of course, the younger brother of Greg Berliner, one of the Bear all-time greats.
Playing for Lehigh.
We're tied at 24 with 4:40 remaining before half. Ricks calls out the play. Tries to take it up the middle. He'll force it. Gets his own rebound. And Kutza with the rebound, and a foul's going to be called against Melbourne.
That's right. Varnell, well, Kutza with the rebound on Varnell. Johnson in there as well, and Melbourne hacked him.
And we're into the bonus situation.
Well, suddenly, the Panthers are not getting the offensive boards like they did in the first quarter.
And John into the game for the first time this year is Eric Phillips. First time we've seen him. Had been out quite some time due to a leg injury, and he is supposed to be a plus to this team. So we'll see.
Eric, number 32. He's not only missing hair, he's missing socks. Berliner, no foul.
Stripped of the ball.
Quickly down to Bueno. Blocked by Kutza.
It's a fantastic block. And that's a.
Oh, they should have let it go.
Should have let it go. Would have been a backcourt.
Yes.
I'll tell you, a mental mistake by Brett Fisher there. All he had to do is let the ball go.
I'll tell you what, Phil, with the pace of this game, I'm not shocked. I don't think anybody knows what's going on.
Quite honestly, I'm having a hard time keeping up with
It's
it.
a free-for-all.
Bueno. Blocked by Phillips. And with the bucket is Rivera.
They're going to call it on Fisher.
2, 4 green.
Sprints first.
And as you look at Adam Rivera go to the line, he's a 6'2 sophomore himself, averaging 16.7 points coming into this game, so he knows how to put it up.
Their point getters are the young players, are they not, Phil?
That's for sure.
Perth Amboy back in the lead by 3, 27-24. Levy quickly into the corner to Fisher. Knocked away by Ricks. He's all over the place.
I'm sure if Bo had his way, he'd really like to try to slow this down. The pace just seems to be too fast.
Levy looking for Fisher. Goes instead to Phillips. Phillips will put it up. A little strong and a foul underneath. And I think it's on Berliner.
And that'll be a one-on-one.
And John, in all fairness to Eric Phillips, who hasn't had too much time to get into the flow of the game, and you got to understand, it's not that he doesn't have any socks, John. That is the city look. They're socks. They're just down there below. So it's just the different look as you take a good look at him. He has like those booties you put on.
Well, I'm concerned with what I'm paying in taxes. I'm sure we can give the young man socks. Anyway, the shot is missed by McKeithen.
And a big rebound by Eric Phillips.
It's a one-on-one now.
Perth Amboy by 3. 3:35 remaining. Second quarter. Fisher fights his way free and makes the bucket.
I tell you, good movement. Good dish by Matt Berliner and good swish by Brett Fisher.
Rick's looking for some help. He'll give it to Bueno. Bueno takes a few steps.
So the Bears have a chance to go up. I don't think they've had the lead in this game, have they?
No, they haven't. Bears trailing by 1 now, 27-26, as Kutza will give it to Phillips. Phillips will take a move and get it back out to Levy. I'm sorry, Kevin O'Neill, that is, number 25.
I'll tell you, nobody's standing still. There's a lot of movement going on.
O'Neill trying to find a lane. And they're going to call something inside, and they're going to call O'Neill for traveling.
I'll tell you, you get the inside official calling a call when the outside official standing right there did not make that call. Surprising.
Ricks, a little spin around.
Woo.
Quite an athletic move by Patrick Ricks.
Yeah, he's quite an athlete.
And he plays bigger than 5'9", that's for sure. O'Neill quickly knocked away by Ricks.
And the Panthers content to keep the pressure all over the court. They're in your face.
This is Phillips with a 32. Knocked away by Melbourne. And a scramble on the floor. And Perth Amboy comes up with it. Bueno will take the shot. Saved by McKeithen, stolen by Fisher, and a good heads-up move off Ricks. Oh, they're calling it off East Brunswick. They're saying it's Perth Amboy's ball.
It's just a bad call. It's just a bad call then. It's got to be the Bear ball.
Now the official is changing his call.
Okay, it has to be the Bear ball.
Johnson coming back in. Fisher will take a break.
And Brett Fisher gets a nice and well-deserved hand.
All right.
It's O'Neill, Johnson, Phillips, Berliner, and Kutza for East Brunswick with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Bears trailing by 3, 29-26. And they're going to call a foul on Melbourne.
That's Melbourne and Berlin are going at it. A lot of bumping going on underneath there, and Melbourne just got caught. They both were going at it.
A lot of contact, which I would not call incidental. There's a lot of purposeful bumping going on.
I'll tell you, Melbourne comes to the side with a scowl on his face as to say, why me? And Jeffrey Gums, the assistant coach, is on his case saying, listen, you can't fall into their games there. You can't afford the fouls.
Berliner will go to the line. We're in the bonus situation. Off the rim, Alicia with the rebound. And Ricks will speed it up. Oh, a little palming there, but nothing called. He's short. Berliner with the rebound. Bad pass to Johnson. It goes over to Ricks for a three-pointer. Downtown, it is good. 32-26, the Panthers.
Heck of a lot of three-pointers in this game so far.
O'Neal to Phillips. Kutza underneath, nice pass to Berliner.
Great pass. Great pass by Kutza. And Berliner finally puts it down.
32-28.
Yeah, he's had enough opportunities underneath.
That's for sure.
Bears down by 4, a minute 15 left. Rivera takes it right to the hoop. And a foul underneath is going to be called on McKeithen.
I think they're going to have to. East Brunswick is finally getting good defensive position underneath.
And Dion McKeithen, another sophomore, on the back there. A very promising sophomore. Missouri talked about him last year when he was a freshman. Thought he would be a super player. Admitted that he overpraised him a little bit too much.
Richie Kutza, a forward who has nothing but an outside 20-footer to show for his points tonight.
Kutza can bring it within 2 for East Brunswick.
As you see Kutza hit that, he's probably certainly the most versatile player that the Bears have out there on the court. And he just does it all, rebound, shoot, plays good defense as well.
Off the rim, Kutza gets it back. Minute 5 remaining. Cross court, Johnson will put it up short. Alicia with the rebound, down to Snipes. Snipes, a little hesitation move, and it's good, and a foul is called against O'Neal.
I'll tell you, what little we've seen of Snipes, he's done it all very, very well.
I'll tell you, good movement. Ronald Snipes, a 5'11 sophomore. Of course, put that one up and gets the bonus shot as well.
54 seconds remain. Snipes will go to the line. Perth Amboy on top, 34-29. And he misses it. Phillips with the rebound. O'Neal and Snipes going at it.
Boy,
finally gives it to Phillips. Berliner comes out, had a thought. Now we'll hold it a while. Phillips has it.
Good
O'Neal.
tough defense by Perth Amboy.
29 seconds. Phillips on the layup.
Might have got away with a walk there, I tell you. Nevertheless, a pretty nice move by the young fella.
All right, important to try to keep Amboy off the board.
Inside 20 seconds. Bears down by 3, 34-31. We're near half. And they say it's Perth Amboy's ball.
Well, Amboy complaining of a foul. I think they could have been right on that. Phillips reached in. 6 seconds left for John.
McKeithen, 4 seconds. Puts it up, blocked by Kutza, and they're going to call a foul on him.
I beg to differ on that one. We had a clear view of that, and that looked like a good block.
Okay, 1 second left on the clock, and John Mazurek pulling all his players from the foul line.
That's Kutza's second foul.
And at the foul line, Dion McKeithen, a 6'4 sophomore.
He misses that one. Maybe East Brunswick will be able to dodge a bullet here. They're down by 3, 34-31.
That's going to do it.
And that'll do it. It'll be halftime here from East Brunswick. Bears down by 3, and
What can
I'm
you
tired.
say? I mean, really, a contrast in quarters. Amboy having its own way, especially on the offensive boards.
Right.
And as you had heard Bo Henning in the huddle, not liking the defense, but they sort of did a better job in the second quarter.
They clearly did a better job, and a lot of that credit goes to the defense that they played on the Panthers. They started hitting some of the shots again that they were missing earlier, and they seemed to just settle down. I said it before. John Mazurek says anytime he comes here, he has a bad feeling. No matter what type of team he has, he seems to have a tough game. And once again, the Bears are doing a fine job.
John, I think East Brunswick has to be happy with the score being 34-31, them being down with this game, with this first half.
No doubt about it, and I think the second half we're going to see a lot more of the same. And we'll be back with that second half action in just a moment. All right, we're getting ready to start the third quarter here, and Jimmy, you have some scoring, I know.
Quickly, East Brunswick, Brett Fisher with 3 3-pointers to add to 2 other field goals, 13 points to lead East Brunswick, and Urena has 9, and Alicia has 9 to lead Amboy.
Bears will put the ball in action to start this third quarter. They trail by 3, 34-31. Tenora will give it, well, knocked away. Johnson will save it. Was trying to get it to Berliner. Varnell has it knocked away by Ricks. Who else?
Stripped.
Wow.
Johnson gets it back to Fisher.
And
3 seconds.
Wow.
whoa. And
Boy, that official, I don't know who it is, but he's been a lot of weird calls tonight.
Berliner standing in the lane a little too long.
I have to be honest with you, one of the subjects at halftime among some of the spectators was the officiating. Some quick whistles tonight. Three-pointer won't go.
Well, Berliner gets the board there.
That was Urena trying to put up another one.
And that'll be important for East Brunswick.
Oh, wow.
Fisher, great pass from Tenora.
A super pass by Tenora.
Bears down by 1. And a foul's going to be called on Fisher.
Yeah, he was holding on to him.
He jammed him in the chest a couple times, standing right in front of Fisher. But Brian Tenura with the pass that you don't see too many high school players make, gentlemen. Just a beautiful bounce pass.
Amboy was looking for the shooting foul on that. Didn't get it.
Perth Amboy in their half-court offense. Rivera takes the step and puts it up. Johnson will pull it down for the Bears. East Brunswick down by 1, 34-33.
Yeah, they're going to try to take the lead again.
Tenora.
He's got it.
And we're on top, 35-34.
And I'll tell you, maybe Frank Knoppenberger will be prophetic. Stopped by at halftime and said, hey, this Bear team's going to beat the Panther team tonight. We'll see.
They're going to have to keep against those boards there.
Ricks. And we're going back and forth. The Panthers on top by 1 now, 36-35, as Tenora is being pressured by Snipes.
And Snipes the only one giving pressure in the backcourt.
Cross court, again saved by Johnson.
Instant replay.
Good pass inside to Berliner. He'll take the step and has the ball knocked away. And a great follow-up from under the boards.
Well, Amboy did its job.
Nice job by Matt Berliner.
Snipes now, and there's going to be some pushing going on and a foul called against Berliner.
And Matt picks up his second. East Brunswick with 2 team fouls already. They're going to have to watch that. Although, Phil, I'm going to tell you something. Off the first half foul shooting by Perth Amboy, I'm not so sure that East Brunswick wouldn't mind bringing Amboy to the line.
Ball being knocked around. Tenora comes up with it, and Ricks knocks it away.
And Ricks thought he had the steal, and Bears will maintain control.
Ricks has been everywhere. The referees better check their back pockets. This kid's quicker than lightning. As Fisher looks inside to Berliner, and they're going to call a travel. Couldn't quite find the handle.
And Berliner looking to pass the ball off. I tell you, he had a mismatch inside, gentlemen. All he had to do is go up and turn to the hoop, and he at least probably would have drawn the foul.
Right, and that's the mismatch that East Brunswick is looking for.
Bears by 1 as Urena puts up a three-pointer.
And
His fourth.
I'll tell you, in Urena, John Mizurek says the kid has no conscience. He just puts it up from anywhere.
Snipes comes over the back of Tenora. We've got a 39-37 contest with 5:23 remaining in the third quarter. Panthers up by 2. Tenora travel. It looks like a repeat of the first quarter, turnovers.
And Bo Henning didn't like that at all. Very upset about that travel. I don't know if he's upset because it occurred or because the offside official called it, the one that seemed to be blocked out.
Rick slows it down a little bit for Perth Amboy. Rivera by himself, short. Tenora.
Oh,
Okay, the Bear ball off Ricks.
Tenora takes a seat. O'Neal comes in for Tenora. Good pass. Unable to come up with those O'Neal, and Urena with a little showboating.
And Arena's got a lot of showboat in him. That's the second time tonight where a simple layup would have done, and he tried to cup it.
Fisher had some thoughts about a three-pointer, pulls it down and gives it to O'Neal. Looking for Kutza, ball knocked away. Bears down by 2, 39-37. O'Neal to Berliner, nice pass to Kutza, and a good move to the hoop.
got that spin on it.
And that's what I'm talking about, Rich Kutza. He does a little bit of everything for you.
We're tied at 39, 4:20 remaining, third quarter. Perth Amboy slowed down considerably. Snipes puts up a long one, Berliner with the rebound.
Oh.
Stolen by Ricks.
Oh.
You gotta keep your eye on him. He comes up with a foul.
I'll tell you, frustration. He missed an easy, well, it wasn't an easy shot. He tried to throw it up backwards and missed it completely and ended up fouling Berliner.
I don't think Mazurek was too happy with that shot by Snipes.
Quick hands of Perth Amboy have turned the ball over quite a bit tonight as Kutza tries to take it to full length. Somehow it gets to Berliner, and he muscles it in.
And
Bears on top by 2, 41-39, Urena. Foul underneath.
Snipes again. That's his third. And slowly, East Brunswick is starting to get its way, Phil. They're starting to do the things that they wanted to do at the beginning of the game,
Slowly
like
but
getting
sure.
the ball inside to Berliner.
That's for sure. Bears have enough good players on the floor?
Tenora now.
They do.
Back in, we'll bring it up.
Whoa. Ill-advised
And
pass
a
there.
great play by Kutza to save it, and a foul by Snipes.
And if they call that on Ricks, that's his third.
Now let's see if it's before the shot.
It is on Ricks.
It is. Patrick Ricks has 3. Ronald Snipes has 3. That's got to be a concern for Amboy.
Okay,
Snipes.
Fisher's gone to the line as if to say I was shooting, and
They're going to call that a shooting foul? No.
no. Okay, he almost pulled it off. Almost pulled it off.
Bears still enjoying a 2-point lead, 41-39 as Tenora inbounds it to Kutza,
That's
who
a nice
takes it right to the basket. A little strong, however.
Ooh.
Boy, this is wild. Kutza's limping.
Ricks,
This is wild.
and a foul's going to be called on Gagno, reaching in.
Jeff Gagno's
Really undisciplined.
6-foot senior with the foul there. But you got to like how tough the Bears are playing. They're in the Panthers shirt as well. They're playing just as tough defensively.
Alicia spins and hits. We're tied at 41. 3:20 remaining, third quarter.
It's a trap.
Kutza gets it across court.
Now they trap him.
Gagno from the line is short.
Jeff was a little undecided whether or not he wanted to pass or shoot.
He got caught up in the air there, looking, I think, to hit someone and decided to go ahead and shoot. It just happens, that's all. And you see the officials talking to the players there, John. You got to believe that it's one of those, let's cool it, fellas.
Yep.
And they shake hands, but Berliner, let's face it, any game he's been in, he's going to lay some body on you. He doesn't back off. And,
That's true.
It's just his nature.
You wonder if that handshake was a little secret diplomacy and nothing more.
Well, I think I could say, in all candor, that Alicia didn't have his heart in it. Urena.
Oh,
and he makes it.
Unconscionable. Wow. Unconscionable. No conscience whatsoever, puts it up from anywhere.
44-41, Perth Amboy. Fisher off his foot and is thrown away by Perth Amboy, so East Brunswick gets a break. John Mazurek looking at his assistant coach asking what's going on here, and timeout East Brunswick.
Right, Henning's going to call a timeout. I think he's going to try to do something with Urena.
Well, let's listen in and see what Bo has to say.
You cannot leave him, okay? He's going to do that all night. Against the press, you may have to come up a little further up court. You hear me? You may have to come up a little further in your walk up. All right? Come to the ball strong, turn and look first before you put it down. Against this club, on this club, they will be coming from behind you as well. Okay? If you get a good opportunity against that, then you take it to the basket. All right? If you get a good opportunity, but if not, please run your offense. Okay? All right, hey. Don't worry about that, right, Jeff? Just get it back on the defensive end, okay? Come on.
Okay, Phil.
I'll tell you, Welp, I tell you the truth, I didn't quite understand everything. What I did understand, he had his players in control. You heard him tell Jeff Gagne, don't worry about that missed shot. Let's get back in the flow of the game. And that's got to make that young man feel a lot better.
I think he also mentioned to Brian Tenora, who has the ball right now, that he's going to have to play closer to Urena, not allow those three-point shots.
And Gagno will take it right to the hoop.
And I tell you,
you got it back, huh?
Good move by Bo to make him feel a lot more confident, and it paid off.
Rick's a three-pointer. Ooh, Alicia's right there. Won't go. And Rick's is in the middle of everything.
Oh!
And a foul called against Eber.
Boy, away from the play.
And I'll tell you, gentlemen, I like a fancy shot as much as anyone, but again, the Panthers have done it. If they just go straight up and put it up instead of the yo-yo, they might have additional 2 points.
Fisher comes out. Eber's in with Johnson and Gagno. Rivera will give it to Ricks.
It's a good matchup against Ricks and Johnson.
Urena, three-pointer. Berliner, strong rebound.
Another big rebound by Matt.
Bears down by one, 44-43. Johnson, a little stroll, but it won't go.
Ooh, the elbow. He called. Ooh, let's hold on here. I thought he was going to call it against the Panthers.
No, it's on Johnson.
Okay, but
Barnell.
A loose elbow by Alicia there did not hit Johnson, however.
I think we got a 1-on-1 here now. All right, Aaron.
Full start.
No substitution, he's saying.
Will be a 1-on-1 for Perth Amboy next time down.
44-43, East Brunswick down by one. A minute 50 remaining, third quarter. It's been a great game thus far. Urena looks over to Ricks, three-pointer.
Ooh, man. I'll tell you, it could have been a four-pointer. They got a little wrist there, and John Mazurek wanted it.
47-43, Perth Amboy by 4.
Perth Amboy tightening up the defense a lot now.
Tenora gets it over to Gagno, inside to Berliner. A little spin around, short. Johnson's in there fighting, but Perth Amboy will come up with it, and Ricks will take it down the right side. Cross the arena. A little strong. Ricks is there to Rivera.
Oh, it's not falling, is it?
Alicia.
Alicia with a big rebound back to the board there, and a very big basket.
49-43, Perth Amboy by 6. Johnson spins and is fouled. Bueno on the foul, number 10.
And Johnson gives him a a 5 say nice block, good sportsmanship.
Foul was called on Rivera. I'm sorry, number 30.
You're going to give it to Rivera? Now they change it to Alicia. It was his foul. He's the one that whacked him.
Melbourne will come in. Alicia will take a break.
That's his third foul, by the way.
And Johnson, you take a good look at him. Last year voted 1990-91 defensive player for this Bear basketball team.
According to a daily publication, right?
According to a local publication.
Oh, misses two.
Missed them both, wow.
Ricks, quickly. They got a 2-on-1. Ricks will pull up and take it. Urena.
Boy, they want to run now.
And Urena's taken a couple shots that have been off balance, I'll tell you. That certainly haven't helped the Panthers at all.
Bears down by 6, 43-49, 32 seconds remaining, third quarter. East Brunswick will look for the one, I'm sure.
They sure would like.
Yep, Fisher will take the three-pointer. And Eber on the follow-up is fouled, and it won't go, however.
I'll tell you, almost.
The foul will be on Rivera. And a few words going on now between Kutza and Ricks.
Now that's Ricks. They're gonna, boy, I thought Ricks was the one that fouled.
And you take a good look at Eber there. He's a 5'11" senior forward for this team, and hoping to make some valuable contribution here. He's the second leading rebounder for the JV team last year, and getting a few minutes here.
And East Brunswick's 0 for 4 from the line, right?
Right.
The last 30 seconds.
Those 4 foul shots missed hurt.
10 seconds.
Panthers will probably pay for one.
Ricks on the drive. Short. Kutza to Tenora. 1 second. And we'll end the third period with the Panthers on top, 49-43.
So East Brunswick's going to have to creep back to be down 6 points going into the fourth quarter. Just for to Perth Amboy's disadvantage, Ricks, Snipes, and Alicia all have 3 fouls. So it has to be a little bit. I thought that last foul that they gave to Rivera was certainly Patrick Ricks' foul, but apparently the official saw otherwise. What does East Brunswick have to do, Phil?
Well, let's see what Bo says. I'll tell you.
It's a bonus. The next foul on them is the bonus. I want to go an invert 4. An invert 4. Let's see if we can't isolate Rich inside, okay? You can go to him. It doesn't, either way, Brian, whichever way they're taking you to, okay? Don't break out too early on it, all right? If they run the weave, we want to jump switch the weave. That means you're switching men. You're switching assignments for that series, okay? All right? Yeah, keep it vocal. Against their pressure, please don't go too far up the court. You may have to come back and meet the ball strong and know there'll be somebody coming from behind you. Okay, come on, suck it up now.
All right, Phil, 8 minutes left.
Right.
It's going to come down to defense.
Right, and Bo you heard him, he wants to get the ball down to Rich Kutza inside. Also made his team aware that the next foul will put them in a 1-on-1 situation, and they want to try to take advantage of that as well.
While we have a moment, I want to mention East Brunswick High School varsity trainers. They are Sari Gateman and Haley Fredman. They're big supporters of this team, helping Coach Bo Henning. As Perth Amboy with a 6-point lead, will try to set something up. And they're going to say it's off who?
Both officials are looking at each other. They weren't quite sure.
Urena. Ricks now to Rivera. Rivera drives, pushes his way inside.
I'll tell you, a strong move by Rivera. Adam Rivera, 6'2" sophomore with a nice move.
Tenora, short. Saved by Fisher, but he saved it right to Perth Amboy. And Urena, one time he didn't shoot, he passed it. Ooh. And a great move by Rivera.
I need a timeout here.
And Bo's taking it.
I'll tell you, Rivera, another You look around and you see nothing but sophomores on this Panther team. You just wonder how good can they be?
They're going to be good. They're going to get better, that's for sure.
Phil, is there a feeder program in Perth Amboy?
Well, the feeder program for Perth Amboy is the playground, Sean, and I don't say that sarcastically. The fact of the matter is what is happening in Perth Amboy right now. They have a undefeated 8th grade team. I think the freshman team as well. Their JV team, which lost for the third time this year against East Brunswick Bears,
which are
undefeated, by the way. So they just have a good program there. Kids are excited about playing basketball again in Perth Amboy, and it's starting to show on the varsity level here. An awfully young team.
And if you're John Mazurek, you got to be smiling because you've got some talent there that could last for a couple years.
That's for sure.
John Mazurek has been with this team for 18 years, huh? Taking over for the late Bill
Bobrovsky. Right.
Right.
Okay, Bo. I'm sure Bo has said, "Hey, let's play a better defense and let's try to take a better shot selection."
And that won't help. The Bears are down by 10, 53-43, 7:08 remaining in the game.
And you got the full court press by the Bears right now. Trying to create something.
Rivera comes up with it. Inside to Alicia, a little spin move. But there's McKeithen. Good block by Kutza.
I'll tell you, great block.
Johnson on the break. Will take it himself. He's
and
fouled.
He's slammed.
Well, that was two athletes going against each other.
Okay, Patrick Ricks slamming Varnell Johnson.
I think mutual respect for those two
Mutual respect.
players.
Two fine athletes. Two all-county defensive backs, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
Both Patrick Ricks and Varnell Johnson.
Fourth foul on Ricks. And finally, East Brunswick breaks the string at the line.
And they got to hit those foul shots. I'm sure Bo talked about that as well.
Johnson makes both. So it's 53-45 Perth Amboy.
And the Bears are pressing again.
Rivera, strong move right to the hoop, and he's fouled by Fisher.
No, he's not. I'm calling offense.
Oh, they're calling it against Rivera.
Phil, one thing I wanted to say, Perth Amboy in the past has shown that it doesn't hold leads too well. They seem to get away from the things that that got them the lead. Maybe that'll happen now.
Well, but I think what really happens with them is they continue to play the type of ball that brought them there. They don't change up and try to hold it because the running game has got them the lead in the first place.
Puts it to Berliner, and he's fouled, and it'll go.
I'll tell you.
And who's it on?
A big basket.
Let's see who the foul's on. That's on Alicia, and that's his fourth. So, Ricks and Alicia have 4 fouls.
Well, Jimmy, just a follow-up to that, one thing we'll need to see, this is a young team, and see if they lose their composure if things get tight.
And they've only played 6 games this year, so of course they knocked off a tough Piscataway team, but they're still learning.
Missed East Brunswick, but Kutz is right there, can't do it. And it goes off Perth Amboy.
And the ball is bouncing the Bears' way right now. They just got to take advantage of it. And
timeout Perth Amboy.
And you see timeout called out by Perth Amboy. And I'll tell you, John Mazurek has to be a little concerned because momentum clearly has switched to the Bears side there. You take a good look at John Mazurek there in the red sweater and his assistant coach, Jeffrey Gums, standing right next to him. The brain trust there, trying to figure out what they got to do. John Mazurek has said that, listen, he has been pleasantly surprised about this very young Panther team, and he doesn't know how far they can go, but he has an awfully good feeling about them. A lot of young players, they haven't been there before. They don't mind putting the ball up. That may be the problem, not knowing when to hold the ball. Shooting from the hip is what got them there, and they're probably going to continue to do this. John is just going to try to keep them a little bit more disciplined, not take a bad shot selection, and continue to play their defense.
All right, we have 6:23 remaining in the game. Perth Amboy on top, 53-47. It'll be East Brunswick's ball under their own basket.
Let's see if they can try to get the ball underneath to one of the big men.
Cross court to Johnson. Back to Brian Tenora. Fisher, 3-point range. Won't go. Ricks quickly down to Urena. If he has a breath, he has a shot.
Brett
Fisher steals it.
I'll tell you, great defensive effort by Brett Fisher after the miss.
Tenora, free hand.
Won't go.
Snipes is knocked by Fisher.
Oh.
And he shows his
athletic abilities. Brian Snipes with the, you were a gymnast, John. What do you call that move?
Well,
It's like a little kip up, isn't it?
yeah, a little kip up from the floor. I'd give him an 8.5 on it.
8.5 on that.
Didn't have his toes pointed.
Excellent.
Urena, who isn't afraid to put it up, and Ricks isn't either.
Ooh.
And they're going to call
And
a
it's his
foul
fifth.
against Alicia.
That's 5. He's out of there.
6'4" Alicia, 6'4" senior.
Felix Alicia.
And he's been a tower power on the boards today. You take a good look at him. He's done an excellent job on the boards, but he's got to go to the bench right now in his 5th foul.
Right, and that's got to be a big loss for Perth Amboy. He was board strength and did his share on the scoring end too with 11 points.
And McKeithen comes in to replace Alicia.
And right, and he's a 6'4" sophomore and 6'2" sophomore, and we'll see if he can pick up the slack.
I think they lose something on this, Phil, definitely.
Oh, no doubt about it. And Rich Kutza is going to shoot a 1-and-1. He's got to make these foul shots, gentlemen.
53-47 as Kutza goes to the line. Bears down by 6. Berliner can't hold on to it. McCathin, and it finally ends up in Rivera's hands. And here comes Snipes. To Ricks, 5:35 remaining.
And you see the Panthers are holding the ball for the first time today, being a little more cautious with the shot selections, and you're going to see more movement of the ball.
Well, I think they recognize they're outgunned underneath.
Snipes back to Ricks.
Both teams in the 1-and-1 situation.
Snipes will try to find a lane. He does. And they're going to call a foul on Kutza.
Okay, it very easily could have been a stumble, could have been called the walk. They call the foul, and as I pointed out, they're in the 1-and-1 situation. I believe that's what it will be. Will they give him 2? Let's see.
They're
it is a
calling
2-shot.
2.
Wow, to carry through.
Snipes.
Well, Henning can't believe it either.
Henning saying 2. I thought they got the benefit of the doubt on that. I really did.
By the way, Snipes is 0 for 4 from the line. 0 for 5 now.
And Berliner pulls it down to Tenora. Bears quickly, Johnson by himself. Quickly covered up by Snipes and stolen by Snipes. That'll be a jump ball. It should go to East Brunswick.
Okay, and the Bears, both Barnell Johnson and Brian Tenura, tying up Snipes. And Snipes is saying, Coach, I was fouled.
All right, East Brunswick still down by 6. Kutza looks underneath. Nice pass to Tenora.
Left hand.
I'll tell you, Rich Kutza with an excellent feed to Brian Tenura, who put it up lefty because he is lefty.
Urena.
Go with it.
He does. 3-pointer.
Wow.
Whoa, what's that, 5 tonight for him? 6.
Jose Harina.
It's more like Jose Arena. Kutza to the basket. 56-51. Bears down by 5. 4:25 remaining. Snipes.
Still out of time.
Ricks.
And he's fouled by Tenora.
And that's his 4th. Brian Tenora, I believe that's his 4th foul.
Well, if you have to give a foul, I think that's probably the time to do it. That was a 2-point easy bucket.
And Perth Amboy has not been that proficient at the line tonight.
Right, and as a matter of fact, McKeithen's 0 for 3 from the line, so maybe not a bad foul.
4:17 remain.
Okay, Dion McKeithen.
Makes it. Not artistic.
I'll tell you, the sophomore puts it down.
57-51. Perth Amboy by 6. McKeithen gets another. Off the rim, and a foul's going to be called on Fisher, I believe, or Kutza, one of the two. No, he's calling. He's
Fisher.
pointing at Fisher.
Right.
Well, give Rivera credit for establishing position there.
Back to 1-1. And he'll send Rivera to the line.
And I'll tell you, as you watch Rivera at the line, this is something the Panthers teams we've seen in the last few years not having, rebounding power. And they're clearly showing it here.
Yep. By the way, that foul was on Fisher, right? So that's his fourth.
Right.
Kutza has 3.
This Rivera, 6'2" soft.
58-51.
And I'll tell you.
Looked like a Globetrotter
The old
routine.
Globetrotter trick, I tell you, everybody in the lane there.
That was funny. Oh, Lord.
All right, clock ticking down, 4:10. The Bears are down by 7 as
That's too strong.
Kutza tries a three-pointer.
Well, we got to go now.
And Barnell Johnson with the pickpockets.
Tenora comes up with it inside to Fisher, and he's fouled by McKeithen rather.
Okay, Varnell Johnson coming up with a big steal from behind, and good movement by the Bears. And as you can see, Brett Fisher will go to the line.
Yeah, that's a 20th foul for Perth Amboy in this game. It's been a lot of hacking and whacking. Important foul shots, John.
Fisher in and out. Bears still down by 7, 58-51.
Brett Fisher, fine baseball player as well.
Oh boy.
Tough.
Snipes will give it to Ricks as the Panthers will bring it up with 3:50 remaining in the game.
Yeah, they're going to slow it up big time.
7-point lead for Perth Amboy. Ricks gets a little lane. That's all he needs. Short though as Kutza pulls it down.
Rick's call for the weave, and I'm sure that's what his coach wanted him to do, but he put it up.
Barnell, nice pass underneath to Fisher.
Didn't have it, though.
Won't go on the out-of-bounds attempt.
Boy, look at these. Look at this play. Huh?
Great
I'll tell you.
play as Berliner pulls it down. Barnell Johnson keeping it alive for East Brunswick. And he does it again. Knocks it off
I don't know how
McKeithen.
many times tonight we've seen where the ball's been purposely thrown off the defensive player to the offensive player's advantage.
3:17
Oh,
as stolen by
stolen.
Rivera. Quickly down for Urena.
Oh, great play.
I'll tell you.
Layup.
And Missouri just about to yell at Rivera for throwing that ball down there. He wants him to bring it down slowly, and it worked out well for the Panthers.
Boy, that was a back-breaking play right there.
9-point lead for Perth Amboy as Johnson puts it up.
Goaltending.
That's going to be goaltending. Rivera. It'll go.
And John Mazurek beside himself on the bench there, just looking as to say, why?
60-53, the Bears are down by 7. The ball's in Perth Amboy's hands with
Bears pressing.
2:55 remaining. Snipes, he's got a 2-on-1, a little behind the back to McKeithen, fouled by Fisher.
Now they're calling it before the shot.
He's saying before the shot,
Right,
I tell you.
This will be a 1-on-1. All right, that's Fisher's 5th. I think he's fouled out.
And you're right. Brett Fisher has to go. And Brett Fisher gets a well-deserved hand. He's played a fine game.
Finishes with, let's see, 15 points. Only got 2 points, though, in the second half.
Eric Phillips will come in for Brett Fisher.
I'll tell you what's the glue to this Perth Amboy team, row is Patrick Ricks.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
He has 4 fouls. If they can somehow get him out of the game, maybe they can do a little something.
McKeithen.
It's another one.
He's been tough down the stretch here as Perth Amboy increases their lead to 8, 61-53.
Clutch shooting by the sophomore.
9-point spread now for the Panthers. Tenora
Got to go with it.
puts it to Phillips. He'll put it up. Won't go. Saved by Perth Amboy. Quickly to Urena.
Think he'll go with it,
He's
Phil?
not bashful.
Just an ill-advised pass and an ill-advised shot if I'm John Mazurek. No reason to want to push that ball up the court.
Varnell has it blocked by Urena. Jump ball go Perth Amboy's way.
And here we go.
And no one looked at McKeithen.
And
Timeout, Bo Henning.
that's a tough 2 points there. That extends the lead to 11, 64-53, John.
2:18 remaining. Let's listen in on Bo. This may be the most important timeout taken thus far.
You see the board? We are 24. Everybody know who their matchup is. Clear on our matchup? Okay. Listen to me. Don't take crazy shots up that end. Take something that has a chance. Something that has a chance to go in, okay? All right. Coming up this end now, we want to go invert, stuff it inside, pick up 24 after a score or after a free throw, okay? I'll call it if I want red. We're going 24 on the ball because it's going to be Ricks taking it out most likely, okay? 24 on the ball, so you can't get beat deep, fellas. All right? All right? All right, come on, keep your head up. Let's go. Yeah, if you have Ricks, yes.
Good shot. A lot of strategy, Phil.
A lot of strategy. And of course, John, you know what 24 on the ball means. Of course, we don't know what it means, but
It's some sort of press, trap.
Well, we'll get a chance to see it when Perth Amboy takes it out.
Right,
as
something to create a turnover.
Kutza inbounds it to Tenora.
And the Panthers are back all over the court pressing.
Perth Amboy with an 11-point lead, 64-53. Underneath is Tenora. Can't get it to go.
And Jeffrey Gums, the assistant coach, complaining about a moving block to the officials.
I think he's complaining about the clock not starting.
Is that what it is? He just turned and looked back here as if to say, hey.
It's like we have something to do with it.
I think he was looking for sympathy more than anything else.
He's talking about the clock. That's You're right, gentlemen. He didn't think the clock was moving.
Well, anyway, Tenora fouls out.
That'll bring O'Neal in. 1:58 remaining in the game.
And Brian Tenora has played a fine game as well, the floor general. Defensively, offensively, he didn't get into the flow too much, but defensively, he was all over the floor and helped bring up the ball against that terrible pressure placed on him by this Panther team.
And this is the first time Urena's been inside the three-point line when he's shooting.
And I'll tell you, look at him. He's a good-looking kid, and
sure is.
As he said, he does an awfully nice touch and has a tremendous future ahead of him.
Well, he has 6 3-pointers, 1 2-pointer, and now two
free
free throws for 22 points, if my addition is right.
66-53, Perth Amboy by 13. 150 remaining.
And Phil, you're right. You gotta like this Perth Amboy team. They have a lot of strengths, a lot of versatility.
No basket. Foul on McKeithen.
And give credit to their bench strength, too. A lot of players have come off the bench and done a nice job.
Right. They have something that we haven't seen for a few years in Perth Amboy. Rebounding power, and they have some depth as well.
Kutza will go to the line.
Be interesting to see this team against certainly the two teams, St. Joseph and Bishop Bar, which matches up well with these guys. Now, Kutz has had his problems on the line tonight, too.
No, the whole team, really.
Yeah, if you're going to look at one glaring weakness for East Brunswick in the second half, it's inability to make those foul shots.
And Uribe showing a little ball handling skills, and he'll put it up.
Ooh, and his coach is jumping up saying, "What are you doing?"
That's what you call unconscionable, right?
Unconscionable.
That's what you call a sophomore playing. Johnson, three-pointer, yes. Timeout.
And Mazurek is really teed off.
Let's see. Yeah.
He's really teed off. We got to listen to Bo, though. Mizurek's really teed off, though. You can't blame him.
That's typical Perth Amboy, though. You have to admit. Well, still 10 points.
24.
Yeah,
okay, so you have 30, right? All right. Now, off this inbounds, let's go 24 with a floater, okay? That means you're gonna, if Ricks is taking it out, whoever man's taking it out, you're back here reading, don't let him throw it deep. The other guys can play real tough back to the ball up here, deny it inbounds, okay? If we get a steal and you don't have anything right away, put the ball in O's hands and let's go to a box, right? 2 or 3. Whichever side he comes to, that's the guy we're boxing for, right? Let's say the 2 and 3 are here. He comes to this side, screen away, double screen, off the double screen, right? Okay, let's go.
Okay, what we didn't hear is any plain English, whereby he's saying that if you have some 3-point shots, you're going to have to perhaps thinking about putting those up. A minute 14, they're down 10.
66-56. Bears need to make up 10 points in a minute 7 seconds. Right now the ball's in Perth Amboy's hands. Rick somehow controlling it, and a foul will be called inside against Gagno. Put Ricks at the line. Berliner coming in for Phillips.
And you take a good look at Patrick Ricks. I said he wants to play Division I football. Understand Fairleigh Dickerson has said you can play both basketball and football if you want to come to us, but he's made it clear he'd like to play some Division I ball.
Short. Berliner with the rebound.
They got to move.
Johnson quickly bringing it up, 55 seconds.
They got to get a shot off now.
O'Neal. Gagno, someone's got to shoot.
Well, and you got to be thinking, at least I got to be thinking 3.
Well, Fisher, their true three-pointer is fouled out. Sonora also. Johnson's really about the best outside shooter.
Kutza will be allowed to go to the hoop. 40 seconds. Snipes is fouled by O'Neal.
And folks, another sophomore. You're looking at Ronald Snipes there, 5'11" soph, and seems like that's all we've been saying all night is sophomores. And
watch him while he's still, because I'll tell you what, he's a flash. Yeah. he has, I think, the best speed on the court tonight.
He is quick.
By the way, that's his first foul shot that he's made after missing 5.
Kind of academic now, makes it 67-58. Young man makes it a 10-point lead for Perth Amboy with 35 seconds remaining. O'Neal short.
Look at him go.
Snipes still got it. Look at this.
And he was hit. He's putting on a little acting job there as he smiles. He's a lot of showboating a lot of the players, but apparently pretty tough as well.
And I'll tell you what, shaking hands with his players and quite happy is John Mazurek. You mentioned it, Phil. He's had his tough times with the Bears, and he'll take a win over this team anytime he can get it.
Well, I'll offer to say that the scoreboard is not indicative of what kind of game this was for Perth Amboy. East Brunswick, I think, hung in there quite well.
Well, as they always do. But as Jimmy has said, Mizurek's got to be very pleased with this one.
23 seconds now. O'Neal finds Gagno for the 3-pointer. In and out. Perth Amboy on the rebound. Fouled by Kutza with 14 seconds remaining.
4th foul. Kutza. And Perth Amboy could look to pad its winning margin.
Rivera at the line. Looking to add to 11-point lead, and he does.
Adam Rivera, 6'2" soph. Need I say it again? Sophomore.
Yeah.
At the line.
Johnson with 13 seconds. Gets it to Gagno, 3-point territory. Too much. Johnson saves it, 5 seconds. And that will do it. 70-58 our final. Perth Amboy improves to 7-0. East Brunswick will fall to 4-5.
Tough game. Hard. Well, that was a hard game. That's what Bo Henning indicated. He was going to play him tough, and they sure did. But nonetheless, they come away with a loss here. We can say a lot about Perth Amboy, though, Phil. They're a team with shows a lot of promise. But East Brunswick's going to have to look ahead, John. It's not going to get any easier. Their next game is going to be at St. Joseph, which is going to be a tough one. And then January 17th, they come back home to start a 2-game homestand with Woodbridge, and then they'll play Edison. And then, again, they'll go on the road to play Piscataway, Saraville, Stevens. It's going to be not an easy road for the Bears this year.
Not an easy road, but the Bears are going to be very competitive, and a few breaks in here, and they can be right in the middle of things. But I tell you, I want to talk a little bit about that Perth Amboy team. For an awfully young team, you just want to watch them and see if they are going to get better, if they're going to be a little bit more disciplined, and how they're going to stack up against the Bishop Bars and St. Joe's and Piscataway, a team which they already beat. They're a fun team to watch.
They really are. A lot of young talent. They're not afraid to put it up, do things maybe that's not conventional on the court, but it's working for them thus far. They're 7-0, and they will be a team to watch as the season progresses.
One other thing, John, I think also not concern for East Brunswick. Certainly they have to look at it as a goal at this point, and that is to qualify for the state playoffs, and they do that by winning or actually being 500 by the January 28th, if I'm right, cutoff mark. I'm not quite sure on that, but they do have to have a 500 or better record. And just looking at the schedule, it is achievable. They certainly, again, St. Joseph you have to look at as a team that's going to be hard to beat. Woodbridge and Edison are both winnable games. Piscataway, it's going to be a tough game, but Saraville is winnable. So they got the work cut out for them, but that's what they're going to want to do.
Really.
Well, again, the final here from East Brunswick High School, it's Perth Amboy 70, East Brunswick 58. And so for Phil Hill and Jim Allinder, I'm John Meggiolaro saying thanks for being with us.